This lesson is based on the personnel part of Good Manufacturing Practices, also known as GMP. This lesson was made following the Code of Federal Regulations and Chapter 3 of the Food Safety Preventive Controls Alliance. Today we will learn about hand washing and how, when, and why to wash hands. Food workers and employees can contaminate food and transmit foodborne diseases at every step in the flow of food through the operation. Good personal hygiene is a critical protective measure against foodborne illness and the spread of disease. This lesson will be taught by the trainer by using the learning tools provided such as PowerPoints, videos, pictures, posters, and worksheets. After each unit lesson, there will be an activity worksheet that will help you, as a learner, show what you have learned. The trainer will inform you how and when these lessons will occur according to the company's policies. Please raise your hand if you have any questions or comments at any point throughout this lesson. Key terms: Good manufacturing practices. A system for ensuring that the products are consistently produced and controlled according to quality standards. Hand washing is one of the most important things that you, as a worker or employee, can do to reduce foodborne illness or the spread of disease. After this lesson, you will be able to list reasons for washing hands during food processing or working with food, know where hand washing is allowed and how to correctly use hand sanitizers and gloves, and explain or demonstrate how to correctly wash your hands during food processing. The learner should note key terms will be defined after slides are presented to clarify any technical words or vocabulary. Food workers can transfer germs to food when they touch food without washing their hands or with dirty or contaminated gloves. Contamination occurs when your hands or gloves touch dirt, chemicals, germs, or other substances that can cause a health hazard if passed onto food. Let's look at an example of how this can happen. Beto sneezed into his gloved hands. His gloves are now contaminated with germs from his mouth and nose. What should Beto do? Please take a moment to discuss. After sneezing, Beto should remove his gloves, wash his hands correctly, and put on a new pair of gloves before returning to work. Diseases and germs can be spread by people who have noticeable symptoms and by people with no symptoms. Carriers are people who carry germs and infect others without getting sick themselves or without having symptoms. Carriers can spread germs through incorrect hand washing or after touching infected areas on their bodies and then handling equipment or food. These carriers can infect other people and food products without even knowing it. In the previous slide, we saw an example of someone that could be a human carrier, Beto. While Beto sneezed into his hands, he might not be showing any other symptoms of being sick and could be a carrier. Unfortunately, we cannot see germs on our hands when they are contaminated. Like everything else, there is a right way and there is a wrong way to washing your hands, applying hand sanitizers, and wearing gloves. Improper hand washing habits can lead to the contamination of food. Handling of contaminated objects can cause workers to become sick and can also lead them to contaminate the surrounding area or other objects they touch, such as food contact surfaces, food, and packaging materials. Every day our hands touch surfaces covered with germs that we cannot see. Even healthy people spread germs. For this reason, hand washing is the most important part of personal hygiene and food safety. Hand washing sounds like a simple task, but there are steps that must be followed to make sure that hands are washed correctly. Food workers and employees must be trained on how to correctly wash their hands. Supervisors must monitor hand washing habits of their workers and employees to make sure that it is being done correctly. Supervisors must retrain workers and employees regularly on the correct hand washing steps to ensure food safety. When should workers and employees wash their hands? These are some examples of when to wash your hands. after touching bare human body parts, such as your bare skin when scratching, touching your hair or your hairnet, and touching your eyes and or ears, after using the restroom or entering the restroom or locker room for any reason, after handling animals. This includes service animals or any animals that might be present at the operation, such as livestock, after coughing, sneezing, or using a handkerchief or tissue to blow or wipe your nose, after eating, drinking, or using tobacco products when returning from breaks, and after handling dirty equipment or utensils. More examples of when to wash your hands are before wearing clean gloves when switching to another task, especially when handling ready-to-eat food, and after participating in other activities that contaminate the hands. Hands need to be washed in a sink used only for hand washing or an approved automatic hand washing facility. Do not wash hands in sinks for food prep, dishwashing, or other uses. Hand sanitizers can be used along with correct hand washing methods. Hand sanitizers are liquids or gels that help lower the number of germs on skin and must be used only after correctly washing your hands. Once the hand sanitizer is applied, food workers and employees should not touch food, equipment, or put on gloves until it has dried completely. Please remember that hand sanitizers do not replace hand washing. Also be aware that all sanitizers must be approved for food handling facilities by the Code of Federal Regulations and Food and Drug Administration standards. Do not use personal hand sanitizers, as these could have lotions, moisturizers, and additives that are not approved for food handling. Hand sanitizers are more effective against virus particles than bacteria. Wearing gloves while processing or working with food can help to decrease contaminating food with germs. Before putting on gloves, you must first wash and dry your hands correctly and allow for hand sanitizers to dry. Be sure to change your gloves when switching between raw and ready-to-eat foods or after touching any contaminated surfaces with your gloves. Most importantly, remember that wearing gloves is not a substitute for hand washing. What are the steps for washing your hands? Step 1. Wet hands and wrists with warm water. Make sure to rinse hands and wrists before applying soap. Step 2. Apply soap. Apply enough to build up a good foam. Step 3. Scrub hands and wrists firmly back and forth. Scrub them for 20 seconds, making sure to clean under the fingernails and between the fingers. Step 4. Rinse hands and wrists completely. Use warm running water. Step 5. Dry hands and wrists. Use a single-use paper towel or hand dryer. It's recommended to use the paper towel to turn off the faucet. Let's watch this video that shows how to properly wash your hands.
All employees other than the food company are required to wash their hands before handling food. The Food Code 2017 says all people who work in a food processing facility must wash their hands. There is a proper way of washing your hands. Let's observe Carla, a company employee, as she demonstrates how to properly wash your hands. We applied a special lotion to Carla's hands and placed them under a special light. They look bluish and white. This allows you to clearly see the transformation from dirty to clean hands as she begins the hand washing process by rinsing her hands with warm water. Carla is wearing a wedding band, which needs to be cleaned with soap. This is the only jewelry she can wear while handling food in the processing facility. Apply more soap and continue washing your hands. Gently lather soap on your palms, scrub the top of the hands, and wash in between your fingers in several directions. Interlace the fingers to clean the pockets in between. It is especially important to scrub palm to palm and underneath the fingernails. A lot of dirt and germs collect in this area. Remember to wash the wrist area above your hands as well. Rinse all washed areas of your hands and wrist with running water until all of the suds have been completely removed. Dry your hands, wrist, and in between your fingers. Every part needs to be completely dry. Wet hands allow germs to spread. Remember, it takes about 20 seconds to completely wash your hands correctly. Singing the happy birthday song twice while washing your hands is about 20 seconds. So, how did we do? Wow, look at these hands. They are clean. Notice no more blue glow between the fingers, under the nails, or wrist. Great job, Carla.
Let's review what we have learned in this lesson. Hand washing is the most important part of food safety. Workers and employees must wash their hands after eating, smoking, using the bathroom, changing tasks, or changing dirty gloves, after coughing or sneezing, and after touching animals. Hand sanitizers and gloves do not replace hand washing. Employees must wash their hands before applying hand sanitizer and before putting on or changing gloves. Knowing when and where to wash your hands is an important part of hand washing. Only wash your hands in designated hand washing sinks. Do not use sinks used for food prep, dishwashing, or other uses to wash your hands. Knowing the steps to correctly wash your hands is an important part of food processing. Following the steps to correct hand washing will protect you, other workers and employees, and the food from being contaminated with germs or spreading disease.